Now the guys are saying, all right, we're coming to a caution here in 3 more laps.
Whoa,
trouble!
And around goes Brad Keselowski off of Kyle Larson into the wall. Slamming on the brakes behind him. Everybody gets by.
All over the place. Right here, it looks like Kyle Larson said, I think I got an opening or a hole to get into. Wasn't quite enough room. Came into the left front fender of the 2-car. Keselowski sent him in the wall.
Well, that's where it got dicey when he was coming back up on the racetrack in front of all these drivers.
I see what happened to the 18. Yeah, he
in Fords. Trying to work with him there. Oh, and McMurray goes around in front of the field.
Huge wreck.
Paul Menard is in it. Clint Boyer is in it. Menard is hit by Casey Kane. His car is all torn up.
See if in the 22. It's really kind of hard to tell. We know the 16 got into the back of the 1. I think that's what started it. But did McMurray get into the? Did Logano get into the back of Biffle?
McMurray started to slide, then caught traction, and the car hooked to the right.
I believe Matt Kenseth in that 20 car made it through as well.
Right side of your screen.
Yeah, it looks like he may have lost a tire, Larry, or something might have happened to the car.
Well, remember, a lot of damage on that 17 car from that last wreck, so that very well looks like what happened.
Yeah, I mean, the car just starts to go with him. It could be aero. You know, the car did have damage. You're up in the pack like that, or it could have been a tire. It could have been anything, but he's definitely 17 started to spin.
Now, because of the safety inner line.
Whoa, here Stewart goes around into Biffle.
Tony Stewart goes around. And caution waves yet again.
More cars.
Kurt Busch and Greg Biffle, a hard hit there.
Oh, looks like the 18 and the 14 made some contact. Looked like smoke kind of drifted up in front of Kyle Busch, and they made a little contact, and that turned the 14 right down the hill.
Jeff Gordon, another near miss. And Kurt Busch all torn up. Not sure he could even see the 16.
Yeah, and where he hit
off the wall here. Pow!
Where the 16, I guess 16 or 4, I don't know which one hit at the end of the wall. I think the 16 did. Right where that wall curves out just a little bit is right where he hit it.
Left side of your screen.
Darrell, did it look like the way that the 14 Tony Stewart went across the front of the 18, he just got loose right there?
It did, Larry. I'm not sure they made contact, but the air off of the 16 is what sucked the 14 around, and that is an incredibly hard hit. My gosh, I'm glad. Oh, and then here comes.
Yeah, neither could control their car, and I don't think he
laps.
Denny Hamlin goes to the top of the chart with Austin Dillon.
Got one sideways.
And around turn 1 in the wall. And that is Reed Sorensen.
I think it was that quarter panel and the damage he had to the rear of that car that probably caused that accident.
Clint Boyer had been trying to get past Sorensen to no avail.
In this.
Oh my gosh! Something. The car turned before it got to the corner. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'd have to look at it again.
Well, let's try a different angle here.
Well, Denny Hamlin at 11 had a bunch of damage too.
Head down toward turn 1 here. Running really tight, close together. Ooh, it looked like Boyer started to go the inside and then shot back to the right, and when he did, he clipped the back of the 44 of Sorensen. I'm surprised, but I'm happily surprised. Oh, no.
Spinning and headed toward the inside wall. Johnny Sauter through the grass, smashed up nose, pounds the wall on the outside. We're back under caution.
Car clean, but the car just stepped out. I mean, when he went into the corner and he turned into the corner, that thing just stepped out with him. It got loose and away it went.
And what he meant, his teammate, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., he said the 17 car, that's exactly what Stenhouse Jr.'s car did in the Sprint Unlimited the other night.
Just watch his
inside and Bowman on the outside. Whoa, around he goes.
Hold it down, straighten it out. Gas.
Reagan sliding back, just barely caught. 34. Oops. Contact with Justin Allgaier.
It appears that he and Allgaier made some contact. Got to look at it again, though, because I'm telling you, when they're in a position like Allgaier was against the 34.
Crash. 3 cars pile up. Bowman sideways. Dillon involved. Hornish, the yellow car, slamming into the wall. And we're back under caution. Jeff Burton, I believe, also involved. There's Hornish. Nope.
Yeah, I don't.
But it all started. Jeff Burton and Sam Hornish got together, and Bowman was just a victim.
No.
Yeah, well, he mentioned something about the 11. I think he said didn't need going on the outside of the 11. I think you want to take a look at all that. He was actually a victim.
Oh, treble turn 3.
Reckon. Go low.
Brian Scott, Danica Patrick,
Back it down. Get out of the way right
and Bobby Labonte. Here comes Austin Dillon and David Reagan to shoot through. Third, up into the top 20 since the restart. Stewart in the wall, and now Matt Kenseth got bounced into the wall. Everybody scatters. Yellow flag.
Smoke trailing out of it, and then all of a sudden it just turns into a big ball of smoke right here. Nice job of holding his line and waiting until the inside was clear to move down, and the one. Yeah.
And Ryan had nowhere to go.
Yeah, one got into the oil and slipped up into the wall, and then Ryan was coming right behind him. He was probably in the oil too. I like that. Fizzled out. He fizzled out.
Kane and Johnson side by side.
No, we saw him slowing down. See, there he goes.
He had a pretty big pack of drivers coming at him. Barely get by. Eric Almirola was all the way down in the grass in that 43 car.
Big cluster coming off turn number 4. Smoke, trouble, way in the back, but here come the leaders.
The question is, are they going to throw the back off in the back straightaway over here? Let's see what happens.
4 wide. And Austin Dillon tips Jeff Gordon.
Yep.
And it's on.
Right in that spot where it didn't take much.
And as they kept wrecking and more cars kept coming into the crash scene, NASCAR had to throw the caution. Austin Dillon cuts. And that's what happened to Hornish's car.
Sam says, man,
wrong place, wrong time.
Had to take a wave around, got back on the lead lap, and then that happened.
Yeah, he would have been the free pass talking about Sam.
And there goes Austin Dillon around. This time will put us under caution for the second time today, and this one will be charged to the number 3.
Very reminiscent of what happened here.
Around goes Hamlin. Right in front of Boyer, and into the wall hard goes McMurray and Jeff Gordon.
Not again. Jeff's car is destroyed. Well, look at Harvick. He's struggling right there, and then here comes Hamlin. He just spins out. No, watch this. Here comes Jeff Gordon coming. Bam. He almost
had it missed.
Almost had it made.
Jamie McMurray got him, and then he hits the inside wall as well.
Those are hard licks, man.
Everybody scatters.
I think
Truex didn't cause it, but might that have taken the air off of Hamlin's spoiler?
Well, you know, the spoilers are 2 inches shorter this year than they were last year, but boy, Jeff hit that inside wall, and that's concrete where he hit it, right past the safer barrier. Jeff did hit that inside wall where the safer barrier actually.
No, it's in front of him.
He had nothing to do with it.
Joe Nemechek and Biff will get together. 16 and the 34, and then everyone else piles in.
Just a big chain reaction.
Yep.
So that absolves Clint Boyer of any blame. We're
down a cylinder, just trying to get to the end.
He was just a victim.
Yep.
A cloud of smoke, and here they come.
Yeah, we didn't have a wreck this big in the Daytona 500 last week.
Coming off turn 4 here, and he's loose for a long time.
Now look at that car, Darrell, and you know what I see? Marty Robbins.
Oh yeah, that's that purple color.
Marty's car. And he gets it woed up there before that opening.
Boy, look at the drivers that were actually about to head out on the racetrack on the apron. That was.
Car just starts up the hill, wiggled a little bit back in the middle of in the corner there, and that kind of shot him up the hill right into the wall. And there's Boyer coming up on him pretty quick. Carmichael on that, and you'll see him. He gets up the hill, up the hill, up the hill. I think you'll see the back end step out, and then bam. It's about the most dreaded sound a driver can hear.
I watch Johnson behind him. Jeff Gordon gets in the back of Jeb Burton and turns Burton into the wall.
Yeah, Burton was slowing down, and 24 got in.
But now he's locked in the back. Oh, car bouncing off the wall.
Yeah,
that is Kane.
Casey Kane.
As he battled Edwards.
And Truex in the 78 is going to take advantage of that. Go to the inside.
They're not done yet, guys. They're not done yet. That's Carl Edwards going around.
He's going to
behind you, inside.
Save it. Almost. Oh my God.
Caution's out. Caution's out.
I think there was a lot of motion going on. So far, so good. So far, so good. Whoa. He got a little help there. I think, was that the 48 car that was behind him?
It was.
Left rear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely the right rear tire let go on him.
Mike, that's a violent hit. I mean, the car really went hard in the wall. You heard the engine rev up. You also heard him shifting gears, getting into one, and then was really winding that thing up when the right rear blew.
They're staying out.
What you're praying is I'm going to stay out, and I hope a whole lot of other people do too.
Ooh, looks like Tony Stewart lost a right front tire, Darrell. That car just shot up and into the wall off turn 4.
I think that Sam Hornish had got a little piece of that action too.
Pit road is open.
Danica way back there. Let's see what happens. 18's down on the apron. David Reagan, 18, came up off the apron and got into the left rear Danica and center spinning. David Reagan know that Jeff didn't like that?
They were fighting for 7th place.
All right, let him know now the bumper. I tried it the easy way. Now it's going to be the hard way for him.
That the Allmendinger that he got into it with there?
Trevor Bayne, I believe.
Trevor Bayne over there in the 6.
He's been surfing up against the wall.
Ooh, yeah, and he's stayed in a pretty good ways there too. That's a lot of damage.
Fastest lap, and red flag is out for this.
Yeah,
it's a pretty hard hit on that 51 car, both ends.
Mears back at Alex Bowman and Trevor Bayne. Bayne way up the hill and into the marbles, and we're under caution.
I'm not sure if the contact from Bowman caused that or not. Could have.
As Bayne went around.
I think it's just a product of maybe trying to charge the corner a little too hard. Got on the brakes and locked it up and spun it out. Start to make a little contact right here. And it apparently, it very well may have cut down the left front tire.
There he is on the inside, the blue car going around. There may have been a little bit of contact from that black car. More welded together right here.
Oh, you see what happens? The 46 gets loose, and he just starts pushing the 22 up the hill. Once you get up there and get all that debris on your tires, you're just along for the ride. He did a nice job of keeping it out of the fence.
And Mike Lynette, one of those 5 drivers that stayed out with 18 laps on his tires.
Look at that roof flap. That is a nice piece of driving right here. Look at those rear tires spinning just enough to keep that thing from backing into the fence.
Let's ride through this one with Trevor Bayne and the number 6 Ford. Let's see what happens.
It's just too many cars. It's a cluster of cars going down in here all together.
Well, The 46 gets tipped and gets up and over the grass.
Yeah, he goes
back
up
on the
grass,
track.
comes out and into the 31 car of Newman. There sits the 42 right in the middle of the racetrack. Everybody coming at him and nobody hits him.
Wow, locked it up and hit pretty hard. Move right behind them, and around goes Menard right in front of Patrick. She swerves and misses him. Almirola and Biffle are not so lucky.
Sure, Carl. I think Carl's got a tire problem.
Yep, Joey Logano goes past. Lapped cars moving. Whoa,
yeah, there
around he goes.
I think the right rear tire is flat.
Right over here.
And that's caution flag number 15 in turn 3.
Right in front of Casey Mears in that 13 car. He was about 2/3 the way up the racetrack. Just came around with him.
Yeah, lock her down though, son.
Running 11th here.
Ooh, no wonder the tires were smoking. When I saw him, I saw this. And I thought, wow, where'd all that smoke come from?
Nice save. And this happened.
You can see the car just takes off. It's got tire. It looked like a tire may have gone down on that car the way it shot up the hill.
Harry
soft. I'm not sure if the wreck caused that or not, but no, see there, he just takes off exactly like his teammate did.
Allgaier was running 26th.
Yeah, Kevin Harvick among the guys who spun in the Xfinity Series, but here we see Greg Biffle go around.
No, he was spinning out long before he got over here to turn 4. He started had nowhere to go.
Keselowski was trying to work his way around Alex Kennedy. Not a lot of room to pass here. There was enough. Wow, how quickly things change.
And there's just nowhere to go. You're running so close together. You're running so fast. There's no stopping distance at all. And if anything happens, you're a part of it.
Tony Stewart right in the middle.
Looks like the 14 got into the 5 and shot him into the 47 of Allmendinger, and it was on from there from those two. But then I think they come back up in the racetrack.
Oh, yes.
Right there. And here comes
Casey Mears.
Casey Mears. And here comes Mark Truex. Here comes Brett.
Going to need a caution, but the laps are winding down now under caution.
Yeah, he only picked up one spot on that run there. And now he's going to have to restart on the inside.
Free of traffic. Tony Stewart gains 3 spots. Up the hill goes Edwards. He's in the fence.
Oh,
he's plowed into by Kurt Busch.
Are you kidding me?
Stenhouse gets turned around. Edwards is a mess.
Are you?
1.
He's a little bit loose before he got to the corner. Looked like he was trying to turn the car down, and Gordon's on the outside of him, got him a little bit loose before he even got to the corner, and then Carl just couldn't hang on the car, shot up the hill, and here comes trouble.
Allgaier and Menard spin to the inside.
2 guys that have had great runs tonight. Bam! I mean, hit him a ton.
Sam Hornish got turned around, the number 9.
And her car control. Watch this. Bam! Casey Mears right into the side over. Look at that car. Almost 90 degrees. Saves it. Yeah, that's yikes. Gosh almighty.
How often does she do that, though? A lot.
A lot. Saw that at Martinsville, Bristol.
He had been in the garage area and was 24 laps down.
I think you'll see Moffitt blows a right front tire. Trying to turn and just won't turn when that tire's down, and plus you pick up all the debris.
Now he also said Trevor Bayne. The price on that one. Allgaier to the back. Oh, trouble! Around goes Tony Stewart, turn 1.
I think he made contact with Dale Jr. and cut a tire down.
Caution.
Yeah, right back here is the 88, and you see right there they make contact. Actually, I think Tony might have gotten into Dale Jr. and that's what cut the tire down.
Watch how close he comes to catching that wall right there.
Yikes.
Oh, wow. He may have just skimmed it, but I'm telling you, he was headed for it in a hurry.
Too close.
They were just coming down the front straightaway here, and we
8 as Jeff Gordon leads them around Talladega. 18 laps complete. Smoker there, Brian Scott. And he goes around, and he gets collected. Scott collected by Michael Waltrip, and we're under caution.
Yeah, Michael's got serious damage. You see, trouble back straightaway, guys. Car around.
Trevor Bayne.
A number of cars
and
involved.
more. Logano is in it.
Crashing all. Oh, man. He's got cars on both sides of him.
And then Kurt Busch got into Bayne, and into the wall he went.
Wow.
And once Landon Castle gets sideways to the field, along with Kyle Larson and Greg Biffle, there's nowhere to go.
No, and these guys have all told me that these cars in certain situations are really, really loose and hard to hang on to. And with that 40.
Let's have a look. He was on the lead lap in 30.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. When you see a car take a hard right like that, or take off right like that, that's a tire that's down. Most likely even and it to be the
Martin Truex on the outside. Menard's coming with him.
They'll never make it back.
And Denny Hamlin goes up there and got one all the way on the apron spinning.
Carl Edwards.
Big wreck.
Nope.
No caution.
And now there's the wreck. Three cars hard in the wall.
Big wreck in rear. Keep coming.
Casey Mears, Ricky Stenhouse, Jeff Gordon around. Here come the leaders.
Right now at these places, when there's a wreck, guys got to get on the brake, or we're gonna have a lot of problems here. That's we don't want to see that. So overall, great performance. We didn't get what we wanted. We'll get this monkey off our backs and we'll go win some races. Kansas next week.
Now first you'll see Jeb Burton coming up off turn number 2.
Yeah, way back there.
He actually got it straightened out, and we stayed green at that point.
And then J.J. Yaley around. Pretty good hit in the right rear.
Yeah, and I don't know how that. They're related. I just don't know. I know that. I don't mean it. Oh, he just gets loose. And Mike, that's kind of the way this track goes. We saw it with Kevin Harvick. I've seen it with a number of guys. You're right on that edge. He's hanging onto this thing. Look at him. He's wheeling it. He hadn't given up on it. He's in the gas. He's on the brake. It's a pretty good job for a rookie. Got his hands full, but he kept it off the fence.
Tell you about another rookie, Eric Jones, restarted 31st, and in this green flag.
Exactly what they were looking for.
Is this guy the same as this guy? I mean,
yes, yes he is.
And he got into that white car, I mean, hard.
Yeah, that looked like Josh Wise in the 98.
I don't know if Wise had to get out of the gas. I'm not sure what happened, but David just got closed on him so quick and ran right into the back of him.
Side Kenseth, he's in 9th place, and it gets away from him.
See, way back here, he's going around, and he just lost it. And then you're going to see Moffitt get into the back of Tony Stewart and knock him into the wall, trying to slow down.
Logano shoots by on the outside. Everybody goes to the high side. Here comes Stewart, top of your screen, and they all accordion together.
Right there.
Well, Tony had nowhere to go because that black car, Matt DiBenedetto, had backed way out of it. Stewart had to hit the brakes.
Corner, Kevin Harvick's under him, and the car just got loose. Stepped out on him, up to the wall. It went. It didn't make a lot of contact, not a lot of damage, but it sure did slow. Now remember, they're doing about 108. But watch his hand right in. Watch him in there. Work that wheel. Watch the rear tires in the gas, and then Stenhouse does a great job of just kind of shoving him out of his way so he doesn't get to make it any worse. You see the wheels stopped. They're going backwards. Now watch. He'll turn the car around. Probably caught third gear here, possibly, and then he gasses this thing back up, keep it off the wall, rear tire spinning again. Now, never gave up on it.
Now, when that thing's rolling backwards, if he doesn't have the clutch in, does that risk damage to the engine?
He may have had the clutch in so he could catch a gear. These guys are pretty good about doing that these days.
All right, pit road is open. This was a big break for Carl.
To finish top 5 in his first. Whoa, Jones around and in the wall.
Oh, man.
Up there.
Johnson closing. Oh, but he just spins the thing out. It just lost control right there. The thing jumped out from under him. Remember, he was had some damage to the car from earlier. Yeah, he just probably a tire situation because the car just turned sideways in the tri-oval right here.
Now they had just put tires on. And Harvick, I think he's got that golden horseshoe because whatever happened to Stenhouse, it was right in front of our race leader.
Yeah, he saw it in time to be able to turn down and get away from it. Good move on his part.
That's that horseshoe.
Back end start to get loose. You see him here starting to step out. And he says, oh boy, keep it out of the wall. Stays in the throttle. Keeps those rear tires spinning. And aims it right down pit road. Release and go.
This fella, of all the Sprint Cup drivers.
Yep.
He had been rim riding at both ends of the racetrack for a number of laps, but this
he's been right up there. I mean, that close to it just about all night long. You've got to leave yourself a little bit of room.
He'll come in from the right side. There he is.
I mean, it looks exactly what happened to him earlier in the race. Same thing right here. But you can see he had the wheels cut just a little bit and caught the end of the wall.
Safer barrier, but that's a hard.
But he knew. Whoa, no.
Ryan Blaney.
Down the wall there. Inside. Stay up there. We blew up halfway down the front.
Dad come, and the kid was having an amazing run.
Yeah, he was running inside the top 15.
Did a really good job tonight, bud. Still got 3 inside. 2 more. Start coming down here. 1 more.
He was in the garage. Said the car just snapped loose at the exit of turn 2.
You'll see right here when the jack drops, it's Carl's sign to leave, and the crew member's trying to get it out of the back window, but just doesn't do it. I mean, that's as much of an effort as you can give as a crew member trying to get that wrench out.
Off turn 4 here.
Right back here, and looks like Trevor tries to move up.
Yep,
46, and that was there. Hits that inside wall hard,
and Annette gets tagged by his teammate Allgaier.
Allgaier was right on top of him and ran the back of the 46. Here they come back here into turn 3, and it looks like Kyle just gets in the corner really hot with that 33 on the outside, and he got into him.
Right front failure to me of some sort,
yeah,
because Kyle isn't going to go in there with all that momentum and carry those 2 cars that hard in the outside wall. Brian Scott was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Whoa, trouble on the back straightaway. Boyer got into the back of Denny Hamlin.
Around
goes Hamlin.
Hamlin's going to clean off the banking.
Car's in trouble going into turn 3.
Kurt Busch off the wall, and miraculously, everybody misses. There's the choke point of this track, right there, turn 2, under the bridge.
Ooh, man, the 41 car just barely hit the back of it, enough to turn him around and into the fence. But doesn't it make you sick to run all day long? I mean, here you are with 5 or 6 laps to go, and then you have all this trouble, and you end up like you'd never even been here.
Well, all Mears was trying to get to do was
bottom right here. Really, I don't. Casey Mears didn't really do anything wrong. He's right in the groove. I just think Ricky was going to try to maybe do a crossover move on there or something. It just didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like Stenhouse just got totally loose on his own.
I think he got on the brakes really hard, Larry. He saw he was going to.
He was really coming on the outside. There's Junior going by. And there might have been some contact between Brett Moffitt and Alex Bowman.
I would say when he clears out of that smoke, that 34 car might have had a little something to do with that.
To the racetrack.
See the smoke started to come out of the left front, and then the car just went straight into the wall.
It's a very hard hit.
Yes.
Brief flash
on the outside of Jamie McMurray, and the one, yeah, it's the 34 gets up in that real loose gray stuff, can't go anywhere, and Brad's already committed to the outside, and he makes pretty serious contact with the 34 car.
And Darrell, did it look like Brad just got so high that finally he got into that loose stuff? And
going on there down this front straightaway.
That's Jamie McMurray in the 1 diving to the bottom, and Danica Patrick goes for a ride into the turn 1 wall.
Yeah, we saw smoke coming from her car.
It's almost like she maybe cut a tire down.
And we saw this 10 car going down in front here with smoke, a little bit of smoke trailing, and the car goes around. And Larry, I think you're right. I think it's probably maybe contact with someone, cut a right rear tire down. And when you're all bunched up like this and you got Jimmy bouncing off to the fire suit in the family.
This is it.
Whoa, Newman and Allmendinger get together.
Oh,
hard
no.
in the wall goes Newman.
Man. Guys.
And both these drivers were happy.
Green, there's Kyle.
Oh, the car just gets loose, and he can't catch it. He got a little bit loose under his brother there, Kurt. You see him here that gets a little loose, and when it does, it just snaps back to the right.
Boy, it just came real close to actually taking his brother, Kurt Busch, in that red 41 out.
Yep.
Ooh, he might have got some contact right there that sent him up and into the wall.
And it's hard contact, too. It did a lot of damage to the right side of that 38 car.
Mike Bliss, the other car involved.
Turn 2 seemed to be calamity corner. The car gets real light coming up that hill. Of course, first you got to get through turn 1.
Yeah, and I mean, they're going down to second gear there. Now, Casey Mears, he missed turn 1. That's what led to missing turn 2. Eric Almirola just getting the power down. There's Paul Menard completely off the racetrack. Just spinning those rear tires.
Kyle Busch, top right of your screen.
See him up in the top of the screen there. Got off in the dirt there on turn 10, which is easy to do.
Have a look.
Just gets out wide here, and once you get off the track, you're done. And wow, what an incredible, I mean, that's a sudden stop. And look how he knocked all those tires loose. That's
Coming out of 7. Reagan off the course, kind of in the dirt. And hooks him.
Yeah. You know, there's in other sports there's unavoidable contact and there's avoidable contact.
Somebody's crashed in turn 10.
Just gets off right here, and man, this thing comes around and bam! Man, that's a hard lick on that driver's side. He nailed it. These drivers, a lot of them lose their mind at the end of the
Whoa!
Like right
Reagan
there.
and Edwards, there they go into the wall hard.
There she goes. Wow. Haven't seen that in a long time. But I think, Mike, no kidding, that's hopping those curves. It's one of the things you worry about is, you know, breaking something in the suspension.
Now that was just coming out of turn 11. And Casey got the car out of harm's way as the wheel and axle bounce into a catch fence.
Say this is a caution that everybody's happy to see, probably except Jimmy Johnson, because it gives them one more shot. I mean, just look, that is everything to do with that side of the rear end housing.
That's the brake rotor, the brake, the caliper.
And Larry, let me correct. That axle didn't break. You can see the splines on the end of it. The axle's there. It's, as you said, the axle housing, hub, everything is out there. The axle housing looks like it broke.
Exactly, the snout where all of that is fastened into. Yeah, the axle just slides up in the gear.
You see right here the 38's coming down to change lanes. There isn't room. He comes across the front bumper of the 15, spins him to the bottom, and it's the field very tight. You see farther back into the field, the 16 and the 10 get into the back, and the 22 spinners up across the track. And that's what happens in these tight packs. When there's a spin way up in front of the pack, everyone gets out of the gas, and it's so hard when you're only a couple feet apart. Another hard impact there with the 32 and the 38. When you're that close, you don't have enough room if you don't slow down the exit.
Boy, sees the smoke, slow it down.
Come all the way down if you want to. Slow down right there. Slow down. Come on, come on.
You see him get on the outside of McMurray. He just gets loose. Just got in the corner, got loose, and bounced it up against the wall. Nobody got into him. But you know what? That's not uncommon. You see him, he just got loose all by himself, and now he's got it locked down. He's on all that asphalt. You know, we talked about getting grass out of racetracks. That's why right there he was able to keep control. He did make a little bit of contact. You can see the rear quarter panel bend. Not handling great.
And you see here, it's a great opportunity to see some of the safety initiatives in this car. When that 19 gets sideways, you see the distance between the car and the asphalt. It starts to lift. As that car lifts, the roof flap opens, the hood flap opens, the car settles back down. That's huge. You know, 15.
Fire. There's 38 going around through turn 4. And behind him, who's that checking up?
Kyle Busch going by.
Of danger. Take a look at what happens. The 42 of Kyle Larson completely sideways.
He gets down to the apron. You see the sparks where the track bar mount hits the ground. He saves it, but he comes up the track, has no choice but to connect with the 19, who then starts to spin. Brad Keselowski gets a face full of sparks. The 17 does go around, and now the track is blocked. Now these guys are trying to find a hole through, and the 2 gets woed up, and the 3 kind of gets woed up, but then you see Carl Evans goes back up the track, and here comes Brian Scott with a full head of steam, makes big contact with the back of the 19.
Yeah, Brian Scott looked like he was going to be able to get through this clean. He was accelerating to try to get by the cars, but then up came Carl Edwards from the bottom of the track.
There's nothing you can do in that situation. You know, he just was coming at such a high rate of speed. Really nothing, Brian.
Leader out front of the field. You can follow Miss Sprint Cup as the big one's happening once again, coming out of turn number 4. Into the wall, Kyle Larson. Multiple cars sideways. As well, this is why.
We've seen this time and time again. The 20 tries to come down on the 5. I don't know if he actually makes contact with the 5 or just the air gets him loose. Man, and then it's just a mess, right? When you have trouble in front of that many cars, there's just nowhere to go. You see the 9 spinning, trying to avoid it. Once the smoke is that thick, there's just nowhere to go.
All these cars behind them right now, they're just trying to find somewhere to go, but there just never is. You just keep piling in. You're on the brakes. The guys behind you are running into you. You know, it's just a big. This is plate racing. This is what we talk about. This is what the drivers fear.
Work.
You can see Matt Kenseth. He never got touched by Casey Kane. He tried to fill that spot. The air got taken off the back of the car, got loose. Around he went, caused a big wreck.
There's that air cushion that Martin Truex Jr. was mentioning earlier. They didn't actually make contact, but around went the 20.
Yeah, we've seen this. You know, this is the 4th incident we've seen where cars start to get spun around just by being around other cars or being in situations where they had a lot of air and then they lost it. So this is something new. We haven't been seeing this at Daytona.
You know, we talked about track position at the top of the night. The 88 on the last pit stop decided to take 4 tires. You see him right here.
Here, guys. Coming inside you, then you're all good. No caution yet.
These guys that are sleeping, they're missing a lot. This is a great race.
Oh, and around goes the 55. David Reagan trying to keep hold of it, sliding through the grass. Right now it's a 1-car incident. The caution has come out.
Fire it up, get it rolling.
Now, boom, he didn't make a commitment.
Oh, and around goes the car behind him. That's the 6, or excuse me, the 9. A very close call there for Sam Hornish Jr. in the 9. The caution comes out. Now
we've seen this.
Got together.
Yeah, we have. We've seen this time and time again. You see the splitter makes huge contact with the grass. The car starts to bounce. Luckily, it lands on all 4 and just continues to spin. But we've seen this. The 9 goes to make a move, looks for that inside line, wasn't clear of the 1, drives across his nose, ends up spinning through the grass.
Tore the splitter completely off when it grabbed the grass initially. And then once again, hit hard and up into the air. A wild ride for Sam Hornish Jr.
He's still driving it. Look at those hands. Still driving it.
To the bottom of the track. Junior will win at Daytona. And the big one happens behind them.
Oh my God.
Of Austin Dillon into the catch fence. All the crews getting out to that car to assist these drivers. Thumbs going up from all the crew members, and the crowd roars. Look at the catch fence on the front straight. What an incredible sight to see Austin Dillon walking away from that 3 car that is demolished. Behind him.
Yeah, the 11 gets kind of stuck in the middle there and comes across the 4's bumper. As he does, he spins back in, gets the 3 airborne, and he just gets projected off the other cars right up into the fence.
He went from the bottom of the racetrack over 2 rows of cars and into that catch fence.
Here we go. You can see him on the bottom. Rex starts in front. He runs in the back of the 24. Gets up on the 11. Now he's on top of the 55. And now it's just along for the ride. Watch the car stop. Watch the car stop. It gets into those poles, and it goes from, I don't know what, 180, 190 miles an hour, I'm just guessing, to a complete stop. That is unbelievable.
And it looks like a toy. That's 3,500 pounds. That stock car is extremely heavy. You see here, after he's upside down, the 2 is spinning. Obviously, he's already lost control, makes more contact with the 3.
$11 and the 4 to get together. Here we are at the start-finish line.
It just pushes the 3 up into the air enough that it rolls over the top of a car. And then that momentum just continues to move him into the catch fence. Stewart going underneath the 3.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to help, but it just wrecked a bunch of stuff. You know, at some point, you know, none of us were going to win the race for second and third, so we all have wins. So, you know, at some point you got to hit the concede button. But yeah, you know, also took one heck of a ride. Wow.
And the catch fence. There's going to be talk about the catch fence. In your opinion, did it do what it was supposed to do?
Yeah, I think so. It looks like it kept the car in the racetrack, which is good. I rode in the ambulance with Austin, and he said he felt fine. So I think everything is gone really well. I think NASCAR's done a great job, and this track has done a good job of stepping up. We're gonna, anytime you get these cars turned around backwards at these speeds,
here's what happened with the 98.
See 98 get in the corner on the outside. The 23 on the bottom just lost the back of the car of Yaley. Got into the 98. Both of them went up the racetrack. The 98 ran out of racetrack, gets into the wall. Big impact, a lot of damage.
Can that be a product of the new race package and how close these two were running? Maybe getting the air off of the...
Behind the 42. Jeffy just gets loose.
Yeah, he just comes around on it. You know, he's trying to go as hard as he can. He's in the throttle. He's loose. We already talked about being tight leaving the corner, so he may have gotten up, and as he got close to the wall, he got tight. Then he had to, like, put a lot of wheel into it to keep... See 4 wide. Not sure Tony doesn't have some sort of a problem right here. The 17 gets in the side of the 26. It's lucky no more damage than it was. The 14 got into the wall, locks it down. But the 14 was really slow getting into the corner, like he has some sort of a problem. Danica driving into turn 3. Oh, gets loose. Gets a tap from Junior, and she went. Again, we've heard all night that Junior's had trouble with brakes. So when Danica got a little bit free, could Junior not get slowed down and he got into the back over? That could have been the issue.
Danica Patrick with damage to the right side. Into the grass. And this just happened. The 10 gets into the back of the 88 as they get onto pit road.
Yeah, she doesn't know. She doesn't know that he is having a brake problem. You know, she just thinks she knows somebody just ran into the back of her. So the first stop they came in, you see the tire changer, he falls because Brad can't see him. He just knows that Jack fell. The cue to leave is that Jack's fall. He took off.
Yeah, and then later in the race, they come to change 4 tires. There's trouble in the right front tire. The air gun malfunctions, switches positions. Very slow on the right front.
The second time, debris on the racetrack, and the flames rolling out from the right side of the 7 of Alex Bowman.
You know, we've seen this before at the short tracks. The 7 had an issue with the right front tire. Looked like he melted the bead, came down pit road, got a new tire on it, but didn't clear all the old rubber, I'm assuming, off. Well, no, I disagree.
Yeah, we're going to disagree. It is not out, and the driver's climbing out of the car. That's Alex Bowman jumping out of there.
I think he was telling him to get out. At least that's what he needed to be telling him.
Yeah.
And what happens
there's a fire suppression system under there that will try to help put that out.
It tries to help, but that fire.
So with the tire rub, he's going to try to get to pit road. And around he goes. And this is why the damage to the left side of this car caused the tire rub.
Yeah, I think they had actually hit before in the middle of the corner. We saw him way up the racetrack before.
Really important for Clint Boyer as he's 16th on the chase grid.
Oh. That crazy loose getting in the corner had to check.
Oh, and around goes a 15. Clint Boyer spinning through the short chute. Also caught up Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, so you get it rolling if you can.
The 4 side by side. The 15 got free, had, you know, obviously got spun it out. Jeff Gordon trying to miss him. Just, you know, ran out of steering wheel. Just didn't have anywhere to go. Ended up getting in the wall. But that's an example of the. They just got loose, left the corner behind another car. We've heard all day long how when you're behind somebody, your car is really loose. He was behind 2 cars. Back end just came around on him. He lost it. Ended up getting into this inside wall. A lot of damage to the car. But again, watch his hands. You heard him playing with it.
This is what happened initially.
He's way out of the groove, obviously. When we got in the screen, he's already wrecking. He finally ran out of the racetrack, but it's way out of the groove when we got to him.
He was running 29th, 1 lap down into the safer barrier. A lot of damage to that right side.
Push his car. Here he is. 13 to go. Trying to run down Kevin Harvick.
Fighting for spots. Into the grass goes the 88. Around he goes. He'll get, oh, so close to turn 1 wall. And the caution comes out. He does kiss the wall with the right rear. Back in the pack.
Still outside. 1.
Just looks like 3 cars trying to go down to turn 1 and not enough room, and the 6 gets turned around and up the track he goes.
So a lot of damage to the 6 of Trevor Bayne.
Yeah, he was driving angrily back to the pits because this is not the Brickyard 100.
The speed through the corner, and then hopefully you can use your momentum.
Oh, we got one moving into the. We saw this on pit road early. Casey Kane hits the inside wall and knocks it down. Saw some guys' helmets that were sitting up there. So a problem with Casey Kane's car. Days in a row now, we have seen something similar to this. As I mentioned, some of the things that
happened between Travis Quapple's pit and AJ Allmendinger's pit. You can see a piece of Casey Kane's car physically embedded in the wall. You can't get it out. And if you look on the backside here, it's actually come through the other side as well. The wall did buckle a little bit. Everybody down here, first of all, we should tell you, is safe. Everything is fine. As you mentioned, guys.
Very similar situation.
And if you watch it, if you saw the tire marks, it looked identical. It looked like it came off turn 3. I mean, the tire marks laid over top of each other. So, again, you know, kudos to everyone that constructed.
They're enjoying the race and have a unique perspective of this racetrack and what is taking place. So the 5 of Casey Kane out.
This 9 car had some sort of a problem.
Well, the 17 got into the back of him.
Well, but it looked like the 9 car was slowing down before the 17 got into the back of him. You saw people dodging him, having to turn left. I think there was some sort of a problem with the 9 car. And the 17 didn't see him slowing down, ran into the back of him. That's what it looked like to me. It's hard to 100% tell, but.
Let's take another look from that first vantage point that we saw. Onto pit road and into his pit stall. He's just too fast.
Yeah, I hope all these guys are okay. Obviously, that was a big fall, but see all the brake dust on the left front wheel. I just wonder they were using so much brake, and we're going to see a lot of brake dust here, but I just wonder if he's using so much brake that the brakes didn't work the way he was anticipating them to. You know, sometimes it's easy to, you know, you're trying to get in pit road as hard as you can. You're trying to get your stall as hard as you can. The car just didn't get stopped. I mean, obviously it's falls on Brad, but I just wonder if he didn't anticipate it because the brakes weren't working quite as effectively as he had planned on.
Yeah.
Logano enters turn number 1. Good. Sideways is the 41. Trying to hang on to it. Kurt Busch is going to keep it going the right direction. Comes back in front of traffic, and he'll get hit. And Sam Hornish Jr. in the 9 got into him.
The gas right here, trying to keep it from spinning. Watch what he does. The car starts to turn right. He just locks it down. He just locks it down, gets slow, gets the car straightened out. He ends up not wrecking, but the 9 car gets into him, hits him really hard.
Hits him in the left rear.
3 wide, there's just only so much room. The 13 comes down, catches the right front of the 88, spinning him around as he goes back up the racetrack. Really no one else involved as far as an impact goes, which is good.
Cruz talked to him. He backed into the wall.
Yeah, I have to wonder, guys, at this same point in time, the 6 of Trevor Bayne has taken the
on the inside of the 43.
The 43 just gets loose on the outside of the 16. He's already turning back to the left, trying to keep his car. You see the 27, he's committed to that lane. He gets on the brakes hard, but at that speed, there's just nothing Paul Menard could do. He gets into the right front of the 43. A little bit of damage, has some tire smoke. You see here the 16 gets underneath the 43, and the 43, Jeff, you've mentioned this before all weekend long. The 43 looked like he was in control, but as the rear tires went up over that painted curve.
Jimmy thought he had the spot, and Justin didn't think he had the spot, and they ended up getting together, and Justin went around.
And then Kyle Larson hard into turn 1, trying to check it up, but he got into the 3. That cuts the 3. Was this yesterday in practice. Coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, you see him coming off turn 4. Everything looks fine. Has to chase the car up the racetrack. Gets loose. Real similar to what we saw here in the first race where he overcorrected and got into the wall. This time he just let it spin. No big deal. But when he got in the grass, it just destroyed the front end of the car. So
around early into the apron is the 55. David Reagan slides onto the apron back up in front of the field.
It looked like to me that Evers never got going. He just didn't get going for some reason. Trouble.
And behind him, they're sliding around. The 15 of Clint Boyer can't afford to have a bad finish. Kicks into the inside wall.
Get it rolling when you can. Get it rolling when you can.
Through 3 and 4.
Gets up the racetrack, just gets loose. Car comes around, stays in the throttle to keep him going up against the wall. Then he locks it down. Never hit anything.
And no one hit him. The 1-car incident that brings out the 7th caution of the day. 10 is the record number of cautions at Michigan. We still have 64 laps to go.
Just lost it all by himself, like we saw Tony Stewart do, very similar. And he got in the grass, and the grass is what damaged the nose. So he lost it all by himself, and the penalty for being in the grass, it just destroyed the front end, much like we saw with Kyle Busch in practice. But you know, this team isn't in sync. They're not running well. They don't have the speed. They're making mistakes. They've found a way every year to be better when the chase started. But you see the car sparking as it hits the racetrack. As the tire goes low, the car gets close to the ground. Obviously, got really lucky. He never hit anything too awful hard, I don't think. He made contact right there. It certainly didn't help anything. But considering you blew a tire, I don't think he hit the wall very hard. He hit it harder than I thought.
That's the second issue onto pit road. Take a look at what happened with the 47 of Allmendinger. There was contact made by the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and around goes Allmendinger.
Yeah, you see right there. He's on the bottom of the racetrack, but it just goes straight off the corner. Obviously a problem with the race car, perhaps.
Attack there. The 55 goes around. David Reagan into the inside wall. Caution comes out again.
Down. I mean, that's Bristol. Jimmy's protecting his position against the 55. The 15's underneath the 55. There's just really not enough real estate on the racetrack.
The modern technology of the safer barriers, even though the track's 65 years old.
So he got in the outside wall, then he got into the 35 and chasing the 25 car. He just could not get slowed up. There's nothing he could do.
Now, Rick, we're talking about, throwback Darlington. One thing about this weekend that's been a throwback is this tire that Goodyear has brought has been soft, grippy tire, and this track has aged since the repave. It's wearing.
Ryan Newman. And that was in the middle of turns 3 and 4, completely sideways, and then He goes all the way down to the apron, and around he goes. The caution came out. And that gives us the opportunity.
44 laps of green, and you saw Menard in the 27 had the right Saint.
Yeah, not exactly the caution flag at this time that Carl Edwards and Casey Kane were looking for as they made green flag. Let's see what happens. Mike Bliss here gets down in the corner. Looks like, gosh, that's certainly looking like a tire went down there or something. Because it wouldn't turn. You see that happen a lot. The car just take off, but it certainly looked like that he just wasn't.
Take a look at what happened.
Yeah, we talk about how narrow Darlington is. Well, this is what happens when people have issues. It collects other people because there's just nowhere to go, especially at the speeds they're running around this 1.3-mile oval.
48 comes down on the 22. Basically spun himself out.
We'll ride along with Denny Hamlin to see the view that he had of this spin. Damage also to the right side of the 10 for Danica Patrick.
Again, Danica held her line. Trevor Bayne, I think he turned left trying to avoid the 3 car.
And then after that contact, the left side tires go down on the Trevor Bayne car. Like you said, Jeff, trying to get to pit road, and with a flat left rear tire. This track is slick. Take air out of one of the tires, it's impossible.
And around he goes. Field once again lining up against the outside wall, and around goes the 17. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. out of turn number 4 gets into the inside wall. Caution coming out again.
This race looks like to me the kind of race is, we got to spin.
Around goes.
You're rolling straight. You're rolling it straight.
The 16 of Greg Biffle. We saw the 18 of Kyle Busch behind him.
And that was a big hit. Those guys got together really hard.
TJ Bell in the 98. And the 7 driven by Alex Bowman. So a lot of damage to both cars. Already sideways and way down the track was Kyle Busch. On the right front of that car.
Yeah, you see the 25 is already up into the wall. The left front tire is turning to the right. Even as a young driver, he understands he needs to stay up in the wall. He doesn't want to come back across traffic. And Red, that's the disappointing part of this is why is Chase Elliott in this 25 car here at Darlington? Because he's trying to get experience. He's taking over the 24 next year for Jeff Gordon.
Comes up the racetrack. The 5 of Casey Kane had some momentum coming. Just pulled up in front of him. Casey ran in the back of him.
A lot of right rear damage to the 6. Greg Biffle almost sliding up. Could have been 2 Roush Fenway cars involved in that one.
Now the right rear quarter panel was shoved into the right rear tire. Now the right rear tire goes down. And Trevor spins.
It looked as though he was trying to.
It's got loose leaving the corner, looked like. Maybe trying to make a move on Jimmy Johnson. And again, a little bit like Danica leaving the corner right there, trying to lay the throttle down. Back end just came around on him.
Paul Menard looks like he's looking underneath him. The 55 comes down to the bottom of the racetrack. The 27, I know he has momentum, Jeff, but he has pedals in the race car. You know, he chooses to get into the back of the 55, maybe not meaning to spin him out, but at least push him, try to carry some momentum down the front stretch. It was too much. The 55 couldn't handle it.
Is this a big break for the 18 of Kyle Busch?
Well, he's definitely lost his track position, but he did stay on the lead lap. Now he's back on sequence with the leaders, but it doesn't look like all the leaders are going to pit.
And how about the flames from underneath? Just under 2 car lengths, and around goes the 41 of Kurt Busch, trying to save it. The field slowing behind him. He slides, and the caution comes out again. We tie the record. And the 78 got in the back of him.
78 just got in there a little bit too deep. The 41 lifted a little bit early. You could see the brake rotors glowing on the 78. He was on the brakes trying to avoid him, but he just misjudged how the 41 was going to slow down.
Here in the Southern 500.
He was underneath the 48, kind of in the middle of the racetrack, and it just gets loose. We've seen that a bunch today, being loose underneath another car.
We've talked about these drivers being in these race cars for over 4 hours. Well, guess what? The pit crews have been standing there all day long. They've had a lot of pit stops, more than we normally see. They've got to be tired. It's late in the night. A lot of pit.
The 23 moves them up the racetrack. They come off somewhat 3 wide. And then Jeff Burton doesn't look like he carries it all the way out to the wall. Kind of runs maybe a half a groove off the wall. Maybe didn't know the 26 or the 46, excuse me, was back there.
Jamie McMurray choosing that high line early, and around goes The 47, and Denny Hamlin also involved. A.J. Allmendinger, Denny Hamlin bringing out the first caution.
We talk really all weekend long. You see right here the smoke where the car comes down the racetrack. The right front tire loses air. That smoke is the car traveling a little bit more as a splitter, and maybe the left front rub right here on board with Kyle Larson. Just looks like it loses air. Jeff Busch comes by.
Yeah, he got really tight. Oh, there it is.
Around goes the 4.
Hold the brake, stay up there.
A lot of damage to the back of that car.
And this is what we talked about. This is what we said at the top of the show. The pressure of these decisions.
What happened?
Yeah, he's already in the wall, but you can see there's he obviously had something go wrong, and where he is against the wall at that point, there's nothing he can do. He's along for the ride.
Ano, look back at Alex Bowman, hard right turn. And into the wall, the 7 went. He's in the garage now. We're under caution. 7 spots with a 2-tire stop, but the big story, Kyle Busch into the wall, now in the garage.
Danik on the outside of Newman.
Around she goes. Didn't look like there was contact there, but could have been earlier.
Yeah, I have to believe there was contact the way she turned around quickly. Here comes David Ray, nowhere to go. He did nothing wrong. Yeah, with a 3 wide, it was
right here, I think, is the best shot. You have the 31 under. 31 got in the corner deep.
Yeah.
In between
definitely
the
contact.
31 and the 10, there was definitely contact. Whether the 31 came up or the 10 was coming down. That's what makes this corner so difficult, Jeff, because what's the line? You can't follow the dotted line. What's the natural line of the cars into the corner?
Yeah, Danik was expecting Ryan Newman to go all the way down to like the left, put the left sides closer to the yellow line. She was protecting that spot, trying to, arc in the corner, and
right in front of Martin Truex Jr. had to go to the tail of the field. Looks like the 23 of Jeff Burton and the 32 of Josh Wise just get into each other, getting into turn 1. It ends up, the 23 does a great job.
Already up against the wall.
Yeah, it has all the makings of a right front tire. It's hard to say from this angle, though, what got him into the wall. But like Jeff had mentioned, late into a run here, that's when you start to see, if you're going to have an issue, normally you would see it almost to the fuel point. This really hurts is the 15, where he had Clint Boyer on pit road a few laps ago with a potential issue. Ended up being a loose wheel, so he scored 2 laps down. Paul Menard scored 2 laps down. A lot of chase guys who needed good runs today.
Fire here, just pull up here to the stop, pull up here and let him, going up to the opening, on up to the opening, on up to the opening, pull it over.
Bring it to the firemen so they can get out. Put the fire out.
Safety crews are located at the opening, so they want to make sure that they can get to that car quickly.
when the car hits the wall that hard, it rips the brake lines out of it, it rips things off, and it starts to burn. So typically it goes out by itself. Normally it's not a huge deal. We see the firemen out there put the fire out. Driver will
receive the free pass. This is A.J. Allmendinger trying to get onto pit road, trying to slow it down.
Well, that's a bad feeling. Door side to the oncoming traffic, moving up onto the racetrack. That is not a good feeling.
Yeah, he said, I hit hard that time.
You see he's on the bottom of the racetrack. If you fail a tire, that is not where you want to be. You want to be right against the wall when the tire fails. When you blow that right front tire and it heads up to the wall at that angle, that is a big hit. On the turn 4 side of the start-finish line. So the spotter's looking down the racetrack. You really can't tell. Looks like the 88's got a tire down.
Just stay up there, buddy. Slow way down here. Slow way down to stay up there. Slow way down here.
Not necessarily broken. You see right here, he's already in the wall. He's already had the failure entering turn 3 and had a big impact. You see how much damage there was in the car. I'd say at this point, with 93 laps to go, with that much damage.
Take a look up against the wall already. You see the 26 of J.J. Yaley, and he's riding the wall.
He's on the bottom of the racetrack. He's nowhere near that speedy drive we've been talking about. Just gets loose. Car never quite spins all the way around. Or maybe he does. I think it just gets still wide open in the throttle. You can see it get completely sideways, but in today's cars, years ago that car would have spun all the way around, but today's cars, they make so much side force, meaning the air blowing on the side of the car, it's hard to get them to spin all the way around.
Normally when you see smoke at a racetrack, you think that something has happened within the track, but there's a bus that actually caught fire outside of the racetrack, and the smoke has not caused an issue for the competition yet, but just wanted to let you know that if you see the smoke in the background, that's actually a bus that's outside of the racetrack. Team.
So he's in the middle of the corner, and we saw how loose he was, and you know, we showed it at the one replay. Well, it was lap after lap after lap he was that loose, and he finally just couldn't hold on to it anymore.
And you know, Jeff, when we talk about drivers and car control, this young man has it. He can drive a loose race car as fast as anybody. But
running 16th.
See, he gets loose right
Sideways,
there.
yeah.
And ends up overcorrecting and hits the wall really hard. Hard impact.
It's right along with Jeff Gordon.
It's so hard as a driver when you have to turn the wheel back right. If you don't, you're going to spin out.
He's closed the gap all over the back bumper now as they've caught the slower traffic. And around goes the 20, sideways in front of the 22. Kansas slides. Caution comes out. The 22 was all over the back bumper of the 20 as they entered turn 1. Spins his tires. Green flag back in the air. Around goes the 48. And the caution is out. That will now determine. Green flag back in the air. The 4 not going. They wreck behind him. The green flag is out as they cross the start-finish line. Will they throw the caution? Trying to get back up to speed. Caution comes out. Now the question is, who was in front? The 4 checked up, tried to get up, caught the 6, and then a chain reaction behind him.
And the 4 car had a major engine issue, could not keep up. Everybody had to try to go around him. We talked about it before the restart started. He couldn't go to the back of the pack. He had to stay where he was. If he'd have gone to the back, he would not have transferred. He would not have done it. So him staying in the middle of the pack created a scenario that this all happened, but he had no choice.
You see right here at the 11, heavy contact into the 14, ending his day. Whereas out, you just lose all rear grip.
Mike Lynette was running 32nd. And around he goes. No contact with that out.
You see that inside lane stacks up. In the chain reaction, it stacks all the way back until the 11 gets into the back of the 43, and you can see behind them, these cars just can't get slowed down. That's why we talk about the fight for the bottom. Well, what happens is at the end of the straightaway, when a car dives to the bottom, it has some damage already, and you just see the car just go straight.
8 cars were involved in that incident that took place with Denny Hamlin, Danica.
Down into turn 3, looks like he's 3 wide, and the 98 gets forced down over the curb and really just comes up into the side of the 9 car. Nothing I think Sam Hornish could do.
3, you can see the 38 just got behind her and just pushed her into the corner. She was trying to get in, and he just wasn't.
As they checked up in front of him, Carl Edwards running 16th. Got into the back of A.J. Allmendinger.
Yeah, it's hard to see what you see right here, the 18. He just gets loose and comes up the track chasing it. He doesn't mean to get into the 3. He's sliding up the racetrack out of control, and the chain reaction got called.
Didn't we hear him say something about water on the
apron?
Does he think that water caused this issue?
Way to the bottom of the backstretch, trying to get into the 42. The 42 is trying to protect. And as he gets into the left rear of the 42 goes up to the racetrack, gets into the left rear of the 15. Clint Boyer probably had no idea he had those 2 cars.
This is Biffle around again on his own.
That looks almost identical to the first time he spun.
And he was quite a ways away from the curb that time. The last time he was right has gone green. And that's a very similar sight that we have seen today. This is the 38 running the 10 all the way up the track, and then Danica into the wall. And now most recently,
it looks like a replay in opposite positions. The 10 gets behind the 38, runs the 38 up the racetrack.
chases the 38 up the racetrack, and then around she goes. Green light on the pits, and pit road is open, Kelly.
And Kurt Busch has been struggling with.
Jeffries in the 38 a little bit and tries to get slowed down, and Sam Hornish is coming. They make contact.
Now just Kurt, still there.
Oh, around goes the 20.
Keep coming, shove through it.
Kenseth the round, out in front of the field. The 41 has damage. There's the initial contact.
Look at the 41. It's a big hit. But, you know, this all started on the restart. They just didn't do as good of a job this time of making all the transitions work, and it got everybody checked up.
Outside 24, outside tight, right there in front of you. Keep coming, straight.
Where the 41 hits, that inside wall, that's actually a new safer barrier there. It used to just be a concrete wall. And Kenseth cleared by Logano, maybe no! Kenseth takes him out! Logano into the wall! Caution comes out and the crowd roars! This is what just took place.
And clearly 22 is lapping the 20, and 20 obviously intentionally wrecked him, and like what happened the week before was more than 2 weeks before was more than it should have been, and just flat wrecked him.
Matt Kenseth already not having the day that he wanted to have. And the opportunity presented itself at a short track.
Still down there, still down there, still down there, still down there.
Once the favorite for the title, Joey Logano out of his car. Matt Kenseth out of his car. Dillon on the inside of that 55. Contact made and around he went.
Once again, somebody trying to block, getting in the corner. You can see the left rear tire. It's blown out entering turn 3. It's nothing he can do. All he tried to do was get the car slowed up to avoid hitting something any harder than he did. But just the tire itself coming apart did that much damage. He didn't hit anything, just the tire exploded. Let's listen.
Something's going on here. Get ready, guys. Flat tire, get ready. Spinning out. Caution is out.
And you hear how violent that tire is, and you know,
second as they came off of pit road. This is what took place for Dale Earnhardt Jr. The tires stayed up. He made it to pit road.
See Ricky Stenhouse on the inside of it. They just make contact getting into turn 3. Heavy contact for both cars.
Hard into the outside wall for both drivers.
Tries to get to the outside of Ty Dillon. You see the 15 come up actually and get into Ty Dillon. That causes the 15 to go around. He catches the 88 in the left rear quarter panel. Really, the first replay, I thought it was the 88 that pushed the 33, but looking at it a second time, that's not what happened. It looked like Clint Boyer got into the 33, got himself spun around, and caused the accident behind him.
Multiple cars involved, and this is the 4th caution already. 46 laps have been completed, and that was violent.